All right, guys, welcome back to your All I Need podcast.
Yes, what's up?
I'm Joe, and this is Lo. How you feeling, babe?
I'm feeling good. Feeling
Great.
good.
Well, we're
Feeling great.
back for that part. And last week, we released an episode with one of our good friends and a favorite couple of ours, Yasmine and Shun Woods.
Yes.
And the conversation was just so good. I've talked about Yasmine a bunch of times on our podcast, and she has this amazing YouTube channel. And so she always comes through with good gems to drop and little nuggets to inspire me. And so I just loved hearing from her husband and her, and how they together are just continuing to do amazing things out here in the world. So yeah. So today we're going to rehash some of the things that they talked about. And Yasmine, I love her so much. She gave us a shout out on her YouTube channel over the last, probably I think last week, but she gave us a shout out, and she talked about on her channel marriage tips. So what to do if you feel unequally yoked to your husband. Okay, so on this episode, she talks about 3 tips, like I said, to do if you feel like you're unequally yoked with your husband. And the 3 tips are, hold to God's unchanging hand was number 1. Number 2 was to give it to God. And number 3 is love lifted me. So I encourage everyone, if you want to hear more, to visit Yasmine's YouTube channel, and you can find her at Yasmine Williams Woods to hear more from that episode. And you might see a little feature from these 2 lovely individuals that you're listening to right now. But yeah, so let's talk about the podcast, the interview that they did with us. You mentioned, I think, at the end about unspoken expectations and how that was something that resonated with you. Was there anything else that, like, now, having a chance to go back and listen to the interview, was there anything else that you can think of that really stuck out?
Well, of course, I had a kind of a sidebar with Sean talking about leadership in your relationship, and I asked him that specific question. And it kind of goes into what Yasmine was talking about on her YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Now, I want to sidebar real quick before I finish this response, because Yasmine has a "You're All I Need That" part shirt that I don't even have. And I was watching it trying to figure out, like, where's my that part shirt? Because that shirt was fire, and
that's a special edition. But
I know 101, and I don't even know if you have one. So
I don't have one, but
Yasmine,
I will.
You have a very coveted shirt, and
Yes.
I'm jealous and envious that you have that shirt, and enjoy it, because I want one of those.
Yasmine is rocking a VIP edition, and a VIP edition.
She won that shirt, like, on one of our social media contests too.
This is why you guys have to not only follow us on social media, but when we have the contest going on, you really have to participate in the contest, because we have some really cool swag that we give away. And Yasmine is a walking testimony of that. Can I get an amen?
Okay.
Amen.
Back to my response.
Yes.
And so I do think, like, the whole leadership question for me feeds into the equally yoked conversation, because, when we got married, of course, I was already an elected official. I was in government. I didn't want to apply any pressure on you to get involved in politics in any type of way. I really wanted you to be able to, play in that space however you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to really involve our family too much. I kind of wanted to have that responsibility, but not have my family have that responsibility.
Yeah.
And have to share that with me. And I try to protect my family in that way. But you have, as of lately, like, really become engulfed in it. And I think from your own a passion of wanting to empower women and wanting to make sure that women were seeing the type of equity and equality that they should see and deserve to see in the world. And so, I am very pleased and inspired and motivated. And I definitely admire like things that you've been, like you were named top 40 under 40 and you're part of New Leaders Council and Junior League and on the board of Women for Tennessee's Future. Like you're doing all of these
I'm
things.
gonna keep letting this light shine on me, and I'm gonna shine on.
Well, it's Women History Month, so I'm definitely gonna recognize my queen. But and even your work at the Y, like you've done so much as the executive director of the Northwest Y, which is a very historic institution in the Black community in Nashville, and so that motivates me to just continue to try to be the best me, best husband, best father, but best Lionel that I could be. And it all comes because we are equally yoked. Like we are in this journey together. We're walking beside each other. We're supporting each other. And so that's definitely one thing that I was able to kind of get out of that conversation and the conversation that Yasmine was having on her show.
Yeah, I think iron sharpens iron is definitely it rings true for a lot of couples, and I hope that a lot of couples take that into consideration. I know that there's hopefully an interview that you guys will hear from another couple that we had the pleasure of interviewing, and we talked about just purpose, finding your purpose individually, and yet also finding your purpose as a couple. And so Yasmine and Shun's interview really just reminded me of just how beautiful it is when you are walking in purpose as a couple, and when you not only when you're walking in purpose, but when you have found that, because that is a rare thing. And when you take the steps, when you do the work to find your purpose, it's beautiful how God will bring you together as a couple to fulfill what he's called you to do. So
certainly.
So yeah, that was again Yasmine and Shun. I mean, every couple that we have on here, I'm always like, we need to bring them back for part 2. But Yasmine and Shun seriously are a couple that I'm like, we have more conversation.
Oh, we definitely
there's more conversation to have with them, because they're just they just have so many good things to share. So but we'll continue to share Yasmine's content on some of our social media feeds. And so if you aren't already, please go ahead and follow us on social media, on our Instagram and Facebook and Twitter pages, so that you can always stay in the know, and so that you can win a fly shirt like Yasmine's That Part shirt, because it is dope. And I'll make sure to get you one, babe, because I just love you that much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Y'all go check out Yasmine's YouTube channel. And also, we don't talk about Shun and what he's doing
his podcast.
Also, but yeah, Shun has a podcast of his own. It's called Let's Grow Together. I may or may not be on a future episode of Let's Grow Together.
Stunt mode.
We will be talking about that a little more in the future. But go check out that podcast too. We may have to talk to him about the Great Convo Media Network also. So we'll talk about that probably when I'm a guest on that show.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to That Part, and we'll catch up with you next time. Peace,
y'all.